Right. Technical error. I apologize. A small glitch. A small glitch. I apologize. I apologize profusely. Right. Here we go. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. Saturday. Right. Okay, that's working. WI committee. All right. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, one person. Thank you. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Cheers. Right, first job of the day. Gotta paint the hair on this figure and paint the shoes. You're getting boiled. Must be hot, wheel or two, if you're getting boiled. Must be getting hot. It's supposed to be a heat wave coming, so they say. That's the latest thing I hear. It's supposed to be a heat wave coming. So let me turn this around a minute. I'll get onto the workbench. Yeah, it's supposed to be a heat wave coming. That's what I hear. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. But if you're saying to me you're getting boiled, then that's probably right. I gotta tell you something. After last Saturday's live cast, right at the end, the light started flickering. Yes, it is. It's reached my rooms. At the end of last Saturday's broadcast, the light started flickering. It was the bulb in this illuminated magnifier, and it must have shorted in some way and got incredibly hot. It started melting the plastic of the magnifier, and there's fumes coming off it. Started smoking as the plastic started melting. So up here, look, you've got this plastic cover you fit, which goes up here, but now it won't slide in properly there because the plastic's melted. Luckily, I had a spare bulb here for this, which was handy. I always keep spare bulbs in store for the lights and stuff. Unfortunately, this particular type of bulb, I can't seem to get one anywhere as a replacement to keep in store. I've searched high and low. I can't seem to find a replacement bulb. So I don't know, it may be a case of buying another magnifier or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into it. But it's okay for the moment anyway. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed. Good morning, Frank. Hope you're having a nice start to your weekend. Hope you're not too hot. My learned friend there in Germany was saying it's very, very hot. I hear tell there's a heat wave about, which is what I've been led to believe in the weather reports is there's going to be a heat wave. Let me get a bigger brush here for that. Size is that? Size O. Yeah, we'll go for a size O. We'll get the hair done on this driver. I have a 3-day weekend. Oh, it's some kind of holiday we or two, I assume. You've got a 3-day weekend. Oh, it is warm, yeah. It's actually not that great here. It's quite overcast, and it's been drizzling a bit. The ground is wet, but I'm hoping it's going to improve. I want to get out a bit if I can and hunt for butterflies. That's something I want to do, because it's been quite good for the butterflies. So I want to get out and get some shots on my camera. It's one thing I want to do, get some footage on my camera. So we'll hopefully get some good weather before long. If it's a heat wave here, that'll do the butterflies a world of good. There's a great deal of, a great deal of gatekeeper butterflies about, which I've managed to get some good photographs of. Yeah, it's a nice little hobby. I tell you what I did. Remember I was talking to you last week about, gotta get a knife for this now. I was talking to you about this thing I got going around in my head about making a parachute for these guys, the British Paras. And I was saying that dimensions of it. And I got a hoop, because I was going to blow up the balloon to the size of the hoop, then use that as like a template for make the parachute. Well, the hoop I got was actually too big. It was big enough size for a modern parachute. I think the modern parachute they call the X10 or something. It's like 35 feet across, but a World War II parachute is much smaller. So my smaller size hoop has actually got here. There's my small hoop. So I can blow up a balloon to that size, and that's the basis of what we use for a parachute. That's actually for, I think that's for embroidery, you're doing embroidery and stuff. But it's ideal to give you the right size for the parachute. So that's something we want to have a go at. I'm obsessed by British Airborne. I don't know why, it's just something I find interesting. British Airborne and Arnhem and all that. Oh, I'll tell you another thing I did. I made some jam the other day. Well, I attempted to make some jam the other day, and it didn't set properly. I don't know why. It's a funny thing, some of the jars set, and some of them didn't for some reason, from the same batch, for some reason. So I said to my friends at the WI, because that's who I made it for, you can count me out now, I'm not making any more jam. Simply because I was using a very small ladle, about that, and I had jars that size, sample jars, and I was trying to fill them with this small ladle. And I couldn't work the ladle. I couldn't manipulate the bloody ladle, and the jam was going over the worktop and stuff. So so that's it. I'm not making any more jam. You can't be mucking about with scalding hot liquid going over the place. That's not a good idea. So that's it. That's it. I'm not making any more jam. Can't work the damn ladle. Such is life. That's the way it goes. This is probably the biggest kit figure I've ever done. I forget what scale this is now, 1/16 or something like that, I don't know. Quite a big figure, but it's a nice figure. It'll look well in my friend's I think it's a digger he's going to put it in. So it'll look well in that. Nice contrast with the black boots and the brown trousers. Yeah. I can't really see that because of this light. I gotta get some better lighting sorted out. I gotta get a lot of things sorted out. Figure could be in 1/20th scale. Yeah, I neglected to read what it said on the packet. What was that comment about the jam? Excuse me a second. What was that comment about the jam? Somebody made a comment about my jam. Pump up the jam. Well, what you can actually do is there is a way around slack jam. You can reheat it, reboil it, and then put stuff in it to make it set. You get stuff to make it set from a health food store or something, or you could just add a load of lemon juice or something. To be honest with you, I can't be bothered to reboil it all and then clean out the jars and re-sterilize the jars, and I just really, they'll have to use it as sauce or something on ice cream or something, which is fine. You pour it over a dessert or something, it's fine. Shame really, I don't usually have problems getting jam to set. But, that's life. What is it they say? Shit happens. That's life. The obligatory seagull making a noise. Gotta do some more work on the eyes on this fellow. The eyes are not all you would want them to be. Once we've done this, making a mess, Karen. Once we've done this, we will have a go at some Denison smocks. because I've got quite a few Denison smocks to have a go at. So we'll get them painted up if we can. I don't know how much we'll get done today, but we'll crack on. Hopefully my eyes will hold out, because I'm still struggling with sore eyes, but such is the way of things over here now. I've had to wait like a month for an appointment to see a doctor. Hopefully I get to see him in about a week's time, and he can hopefully sort my eyes out for me, and possibly even the rest of me. But it's ridiculous, you have to wait a month to see a doctor. I mean, God blimey, in a month I could have travelled to Africa, seeked out a witch doctor and come home again. In that time. Well, truly, we are truly going back to the Dark Ages. Well, I've been online, so what I've been doing is been online looking for the Airfix Sherwood Castle kit, and I can't find one anywhere. Because as you know, I've got the Brexit effect. Yeah, you could be right, Frank. You could well be right. There's the boots on him as well, black now. See, he's starting to look nice. So we'll let that black dry and we'll give it some highlights. We'll get a bit of German grey on it. Yeah, Brexit effect, you could be right. In fact, you probably are right. Get rid of that a minute. So anyhow, yeah, I've been looking for the Sherwood Castle by Airfix. Can't find one anywhere. So as you know, I've got the Roman fort and the Fort Sahara. So I want the Airfix Sherwood Castle. Not that I would use it, because I've got the mini art castle which I'm planning to put together. So we'll use that, but it would be nice to have one. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to do the green patches on the Denison smocks. Get them sorted out. The green I am using is, so we can see that, you see that? Military green, which is number 975, Vallejo Military Green. So we'll give it a go at military green. How many of these we got to do? 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 4 smocks to do in military green. Because we still got Major Carlisle to do, but I've got to make the umbrella yet. I've got the umbrella to sort out. And this guy, I've got to do the straps on the sling. I've got to sort out the straps on the sling for that guy, so he has to wait. I think one thing I have done, I haven't done a lot recently, but what I have done is that guy. He's all base coated now and he's had a wash. Guy with the stick. So he's looking very nice. And I've also done this little child figure. He's all base coated and washed. So I like him. So they're done. This guy came out very well. I like this guy. I like him very much. So we are getting there. We are getting there. It's just a case of plodding along. I haven't done a lot because I've been dragged away from the painting bench, to be honest with you. Wednesday I had to go out. My eyes do snail over the monitor. I think you mean get sore over the monitor. Yeah, I can. But it could just be that, my eyes. It could just be eye strain or something. It's about time I had my eyes tested and had some new glasses, really. So it could be that, and then looking through this as well. And looking at this all the time as well, this phone. It could be, that could be something to do with it. I suspect it's a little bit more than that, but we'll see when we get to see a doctor. That's if he's any good. That's if he's any good, whoever I get to see. Right, because my doctor's now is just managing to keep going. It's just managing to keep going. And we're getting doctors coming in, just filling in, and sort of odd jobbing, if you like. Which is not really very good. So will I leave? It's not good, it's not good. I quite like this colour, military green. Quite a nice colour. And these master box figures, they always have nice detail on them. if you're ever around Friday nights, around about 7 o'clock Friday nights on YouTube, check out Pirate Rich Paints. He always has a live painting videos Friday nights, 7 o'clock. Very enjoyable. Go and check it out, Pirate Rich Paints. Well worth watching. It's always nice to see how other people paint. And there. Yes, yeah, very good, very good. And it's nice to see how other people paint, and it's nice to see their painting techniques and their ideas on painting miniatures. And it's you can always learn from it. Here's my tweezers here. Here's my tweezers. That's alright. I got one of these calluses again. Gotta tear the thing out of my finger. Yeah. Apparently he was off saying last night he's off to a war game show today. So he said, let's give me a list of 5 things I gotta look out for. Subscribed. Thank you. Yeah. So we give him suggestions for things to look out for at this war games show. I don't know how many of them he'll actually get. One of them was a 54mm kit figure he's got to try and find. So another one was an Aurora horror movie figure. See if you can find one of them. Because Aurora used to make all sorts of horror movie figures, models. And some of them, I remember as a kid, some of them used to glow in the dark. They had bits that would glow in the dark. Happy days, happy days. Right, now some of these bits you're not going to be able to paint because there's like bags in the way, because he's got Medix bags on him, this guy. So we have to, I'm looking at other figures I've painted to get an idea of what I did actually. I can't remember how I did the Denison smocks. Yeah, this guy's got a lot of baggage on him, so quite a bit of a smock you're not going to be able to paint in. Because it's all hidden by the bags and the webbing and stuff. Yeah, I do like Master Box figures, I have to say. So look at the back here. What did I do for the back? Right, so let's have a look. So we can, so a bit of green up here. What you gotta bear in mind with these figures is there's a lot of seams on the jackets. So you want to try and do it in such a way that you can replicate the seams on these jackets, because it wasn't all one piece of cloth by Dennis and Smart, particularly seams on the sleeves and stuff. So tell me, what have you got planned for, anybody got anything interesting planned for Saturday? What are y'all doing for Saturday? What are you all got planned for Saturday? Trying to stay cool, I guess. Trying to stay cool. Which is no bad thing. Right, let's have a look at the arms here. What have we got on the arms here? Give me another figure here. What's this one looking like? Right, let's have a look here. What have we got here? Down there. Okay. Down there, a bit of green down there. Yeah, these will make nice figures when they're done. Look forward to having a go at some Wehrmacht troops. We got 5 minutes. What was that? What was that comment? What was the comment? Painting a female resin figure for a friend. Ah. That's not something we do a lot of, is it, as wargamers? Have to make videos on 2 Finished 135 Dragon figure sets. I look forward to that. Dragon makes some nice figures. It's not something we do a lot as wargamers, is it? Paint female figures. It's not often we do that. Right. Put it up there, I think. Crouching under my favourite stone. Well, I would say, matey, if it's a heat wave on, you want to crouch under something for sure. Preferably with an ice cold beer or something. Or cider. Oh, that's something I meant to do. Damn, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, indeed, indeed. I quite agree. There isn't many female figure sets about. You're quite right. Yeah. Yeah, that was something I meant to do, actually. Beer, the cause and the solution of all man's problems. Well, it does cause a lot of problems, beer, for sure. Yeah, people, well, only when people drink too much of it. That's the thing. They drink too much and then they do things they wouldn't do normally, and it's just the beer driving them. My father was a great one for beer, actually. But that's going back to what I was saying, something I meant to do after last Saturday's livecast. I said I would do. I would put up the recipe for nettle beer because we was talking about nettle beer and stuff, which is, I've got to say, nettle beer is absolutely delicious. It's the best beer I've ever had. It's lovely. So I did say I would put up the recipe for that. So forgive me, I will try and remember to do it. And if you want to have a go at making some homemade nettle beer, be my guest. It is very nice. Right, let's have a look here. What do we got here? Okay, what I'm going to do is, so that's got a seam that is on there. Just going to go with what I think. Just going to go with what I think here. Nettle beer is very Verlinden, yeah. They make a Verlinden. They have resin figures, don't they? Well, I got to be honest with you. It's very rare these days I will touch alcohol, be honest with you. Yeah, and I have, like yourself, Frank, I have been incredibly drunk in my youth. In fact, I'll tell you, my 18th birthday was on the 22nd of December, which we celebrated. It will be. I cannot tell you anything about the 23rd of December. I came round, I'm ashamed to say, on the 24th of December. It's the only time in my entire life I have lost a complete day that I don't know anything about. It's not good to say that, really, but that's how inebriated I got. I cannot remember the 23rd of December. It's just, no. It's not clever to be like that. The lost weekend. Yeah, indeed. A dreadfully bad experience. Well, I can remember being sick a lot. Probably if I was to look at it now, you'd possibly even say alcoholic poisoning. But, you do these idiotic things in your youth. That's the sort of stupid things you do. But, that's how we learn. That's how we learn. We learn by our mistakes. Well, hopefully we learn by our mistakes. Not all people do, but I gotta say, man as a whole doesn't seem to learn by his mistakes. He keeps doing the same idiotic things time and time again. Oop, slip with my finger. What I'm aiming for with this figure is, or all these figures actually, is not to have too much of the original base colour showing, the khaki grey, because if you look at a Denison smock, there isn't really a whole pile of khaki grey showing between the brown and the green. So I don't want too much showing. What was that? I didn't read all of that then, Angkor Wat. So look. Not on Sunday. 40 years. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't begrudge anybody a drink socially and all. People take it to excess. Which is not good. And it I don't know, it's also pretty much seems to be a British mentality, doesn't it? To drink as much as you can, as quickly as you can, for some bizarre reason. And you see people getting inebriated, making fools of themselves, and whereas, I don't know, people on the continent can seem to drink more responsibly. But, you know, right, let's have a look here. How did I do the pockets on these jackets? Let's have a look. Let's see if I can see a pocket on these jackets. But like I say, you know, my father was a great one for the beer. So I missed that comment then. Give me that comment. The Jerrys behave the same. Well, I suppose you will always get a sort of hardcore of people that will drink to excess. It's like you'll always get a hardcore of people that will create violence at football matches. You'll always get a hardcore of them, no matter how much you try and sort of stamp it out. You know, that's the way it is. But football violence is certainly not as bad as it was in the good old days, the 70s, when we had some real violence. I mean, I can remember watching as a young person, I can remember watching England play Scotland at Wembley. Scotland beat us. I think it was 2-1 they beat us. And the Scots supporters proceeded to tear Wembley to shreds and absolutely wrecked the place. But hopefully it's not that bad now. Yeah. Trouble with alcohol is, going back to that, put your foot down in there a bit. It's so freely available, alcohol. I mean, you can go in any corner shop and buy a load of beer or a bottle of whiskey or whatever, you know, provided you have the money. I mean, I've got to be honest with you, what I thought was bizarre or even ridiculous, now I don't know what it's like in Holland and Germany at the moment, but here because of the cost of living sort of crisis, we've been getting cost of living payments and all that. So I, like a lot of people, had one particular payment. It was for if I remember rightly, it was £300. Yes, I'm pretty certain it was £300. So I go to the post office to collect this now. And I have my ID with me to prove, yeah, this is me, and I have the letter issuing me with this handout, this help, which I'm very grateful for, don't get me wrong, because electricity is expensive. So I hand the letter in, she checks my ID, so she counts out £300 in cash, the lady behind the counter, and she just gives it me, like that. Now, I went to another part of the building, handed in my electricity key, and said to the guy, I said to the guy, 300, you know, on the key, please. And he proceeded to put the whole 300 on the key. I handed him the 300 that she'd given me. So I had £300 on my key meter for electricity, which was fantastic, wonderful. But her just giving me the money like that, I could have walked straight out the building and gone to the nearest pub with that, which is not what it's for, but I could have done. And I thought that, don't keep banging the door, I thought that was a bit sort of slack, really, because it was a payment for help with your energy bills and stuff. So I would much rather that lady took the key off me, or off anybody that came in and did this, and then got the money transferred onto the key. Because I don't think it's right that you should just hand people £300 and they could walk out the door and go to the betting shop or the pub with it. I don't think that's very clever at all. Besides which, you can't really solve people's problems by continually throwing money at it. Because the moment you stop, these problems resurface. You've got to find the proper solution to these things, not just keep throwing money at it. That's not the way to do it. And these energy companies are saying, you know, we've never had such massive profits. Well, put your prices down then and make it a bit more affordable. Then we all wouldn't need handouts from the government. Stop being so greedy. It's like Shell and BP. They're saying that it's the biggest profits they've had in, 100 and something years. Well, it's just corporate greed. You know? It's why we're in the shit all the time, because of corporate greed. And I'm convinced, there's answers to all these problems. But people in charge are not interested in looking for them because they don't want to rock the boat, because they're all fucking creaming it off, excuse my language. They're all creaming it off, so they don't want to rock the boat. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. Yeah, let's paint the old Denison smocks. If my father was here now, he'd be totally amazed. Be totally amazed. You know, like £4 and £5 for a pint of beer. I mean, for goodness sakes. You know, it's like best part of, that's all right, don't bother yourself and paint more minis. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have a pretty good social security system on national local level. That's good. It's good that you have a social security system, but it wouldn't be needed so much if things were a bit fairer across the board. Yeah. Right, let's have a look here. Yes, don't stress yourself about it and just paint more miniatures. Yeah, I'm all for that. I want to paint as many of these as I can before I'm finished. That's what I want to do. Because I have a lot of stuff here that I want to have a go at. Tell you what I got next. After this. Because this is the last the last British Airborne I'm going to do for a while. So after this, I got a box of Japanese samurai I'm going to have a go at. And then after that, I've got a couple of Airfix Roman forts I want to have a stab at. So I'll have a go at them. I thought the Japanese samurai would be nice and different. Make a change from the usual sort of stuff. Right, are we going to put a bit of green on that? Yeah, okay. There we go, that's the green on that guy. Don't know how well you can see that or not, I don't know. But that's the green patches on that guy. Offering somebody a cigarette. Right, the next character is... Right, so I go at this guy sitting down. Doesn't matter, they've all got to be done. They've all got to be done. You know, I thought of something last night. I was watching another Doctor Who. With John Pertwee, my favourite Doctor. And this story was, I was amazed how violent this story was, to be honest with you, for the very early 70s as a kids program. I was quite amazed. And there was quite a good shootout between the bad guys and a bunch of troops from UNIT with the Brigadier there and all that business. And I thought, that's quite a good wargaming scenario, isn't it? A platoon of troops from UNIT fighting. Well, could be anybody really. The tartans are looking quite well, torturing the skirts. With the hints of you and the granddads were quite helpful. Yeah, well, tartan isn't the easiest thing to paint, I have to say. It's quite a challenging thing, particularly if you've, like I was saying last week about tartan, if you've got an involved tartan like Cameron tartan or something like that, a very busy sort of tartan, it's not easy to paint at all. It's not easy at all. And I take my hat off to anybody who can paint tartan, or who's brave enough to have a go at painting tartan. Because yeah, it's not easy at all, painting tartan. Painting it sort of reasonably small scale, you're not always going to get all the stripes in it, all the lines in it. You just have to give it as much of a flavour as that tartan as you can, really. That's the only real way you can do it. But it's good that if you think I've been helpful, that's good. That's good. Yeah, start off with like an easy tartan, perhaps like Black Watch or what's the other Napoleonic Highlanders? There's Black Watch, there's Cameron, Gordon. Do Gordon tartan. And see how you go with that before you try something really adventurous like Cameron tartan. Yeah. Right, what am I doing? What am I doing? Let's have a crack at this guy. Gordon's gin tartan. I've got Gordon's gin here actually. Well, what I've got actually is sloe gin. That's what I've got. Sloe gin, which I made with Gordon's gin. Somebody said to me the other day, I don't know if this is right or not, somebody said to me the other day, a lot of the sloes this year, they've dropped to the ground early because of the high wind and stuff we've been having. I don't know whether that's right or not, I don't know. But a drop of sloe gin is very nice, I have to say. You leave it for a few years, it goes like a very rich liqueur, which is nice, which is very nice indeed. A bit on the collar here. What I am going to do also, looking at this guy's face, I shot a video how to paint a 1/3/5 scale face, and I've still got it on the computer, but I just wasn't happy with it, which is why I've not pinned it up on my YouTube page. So I'm probably going to reshoot that. Because you do see a lot of miniatures, and they're very well painted miniatures. I think the person's done a really nice job, but they can't paint faces, and that lets the miniature down. Because when you look at a miniature, for me anyway, when you look at a miniature, the first thing you look at, certainly something at this scale, the first thing you look at is the face. And I like to see faces well done, if at all possible. So yeah, I think I'll probably redo that video. It's just getting the camera set up right. And getting a nice clear image of what you're doing. That's the main thing. If you can do that, I think you've got it. You got it made. These greens all seem to be turning out different. I can't seem to stick to one pattern today with these greens. That's what it is. Not to worry. Not to worry. Such is life. Eh? Such is life. Could be a lot worse. Stranger things happen at sea, folks. My voice is starting to slip. I haven't been anywhere near the gin. I don't know what it is. I gotta go get this checked out. I gotta go get this checked out. Well, to be honest with you, I have a sneaking suspicion I know what it is, and I'm not gonna fucking well let it beat me either. See, the worst thing is, if my voice goes sloppy and funny, who gives a shit? It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter a jot. If I can't paint the miniatures, I will be incredibly disappointed. I will be very sad if I couldn't paint the miniatures. So I'm going to endeavour my very best to paint as many of these as I can before I'm done. But what would really upset me, if I couldn't do it, because my hands are gone, is work the monkey. Because that monkey is a good stress buster. He's a really good stress buster, and if I can't work the monkey, then I am going to be pissed off. But even though I'm sort of so I have a few problems. Oh shit, you've done that wrong, Karen. You cretin. You've done it wrong, Karen. Right, you'll have to paint that out. And which way are you going to do the... well, okay, yeah, you can do it that way. I'm trying to work out the seam on the sleeve here to get the seam right. Because these jackets had seam lines going down the sleeve. Right, yeah, okay, yeah, so I'll do it that way. So we'll do the sleeve, seam at the back of the sleeve here, okay. Yeah. Couldn't work out where I was going for a minute with the seam line on my sleeve here. Yes, I'm going to keep going at all costs doing the miniatures. Don't want to give in. And I'm still, you know, even though I have a few problems, I'm still incredibly grateful for every day. Because, you know, it could be a whole pile worse. Could be a whole pile worse. For sure. So I'm going to do as much as I can for as long as I can. That's life. And to be honest with you, I've done, that's got to be down there then, isn't it? The seam's got to be down there. I've done a lot better than my father, who was dead at 43. So. Bless him. I know you can't see him, but I have a portrait of him just up here on the wall, just up there on the wall. Amazing thing to be doing, painting a portrait of your father, and then you start smelling aftershave. It's like, oh, okay, you're in the room, okay. Then you can feel somebody looking over your shoulder, breathing on your neck. You say, ah, right. He hasn't actually said yet whether he likes the portrait or not. I don't know. Yeah. There's more to life than what we realize. Right, some of the chest detail on this figure is not actually that good. Not actually that good. It's not very clear. Which is a bit of a surprise for Masterbox, because they're normally very good on their detail. So I'm having to use my imagination a bit on this. Which is not ideal. Hey, listen. Listen. If anybody out there wants a key ring or a fridge magnet, excuse me just a second. I will be back in 2 seconds. Look, folks. A fridge magnet, Airfix Retro Fridge Magnet, and also a Retro Airfix keyring. If anybody wants these, you can have them. Yeah, I'll send them to you, because they're, or I already got them. Well, I got the fridge magnet, I haven't got the keyring, but I got the fridge magnet on my fridge. So if anybody out there, if you want them, they let me know, I'll send them to you, you can have them. You're welcome to have them. I like them, I think they're very nice. Retro fridge magnets. Ideal for your retro fridge, I suppose. So look at the back of this jacket. How did I do? Yeah, they all seem to be turning out differently, these figures. I don't know why. Yeah, if you want a retro fridge magnet and a retro Airfix keyring, you just say. I'll send them to you free of charge. That reminds me of something I gotta do is get a little something for next month's giveaway is coming round. So I have to find something for that. I don't know what I'm gonna find, I'm sure. Haven't really thought about it at the moment. So we'll have to look into that. We'll see. Anything out there you fancy for the giveaway? Give me some ideas what you'd like to see for the giveaway. Figures, paint, what? I suppose you guys out there, I suppose you've got all your workbenches sorted out, haven't you? Right, do a bit more green up there, I think, on his smock. Yeah, what do you fancy? It's always challenging to think of something for the giveaway. What can I get this month? Tools, what have you got? What would you like? Something that you think and you hope people are going to use. Yeah. Like last month, it was those things for working with the putty and the clay and stuff. I thought, well, hopefully whoever wins them will use them because they're useful. Yeah, I'll think about it. Right, so look here. Trying to think where the seam is in this jacket. It's probably down there, isn't it? Probably down there, Karen. Right, some of this smock on this guy, well, you won't see because he's sat down on his butt. So a lot of it we needn't actually paint. We can just ignore it. Right, we got any green that side? Did I do any green that side? Well, just go for it. Just go for it. Just do what you think. Does it really matter if they're all different? Does it really matter? As long as they're green and brown, that's all that matters. A bit fiddly getting the brush in between the arms here on this figure is a bit fiddly. Size I'm using is a 3-0 by Rosemary & Co. They're nice brushes, Rosemary & Co. I like them. Although I did recently buy a batch of Winsor & Newton Series 7. I bought some of them. They're nice brushes. Or Another one you can buy which is very nice is the Raphael brushes. They're very nice. All sable hair brushes. Next week, hopefully, I'll try and include the ape dude for you next week. Ely Fogmanis. We'll try and get Ely Fogmanis for you next week. So I know you like to see the ape dude. So we'll try and get Ely Fogmanis in next week. Yeah, Raphael brushes are very good. Raphael, Winsor & Newton Series 7, or failing that, Rosemary & Co. You get any of them brushes, you won't go wrong. I find with the Raphael brushes, you can tend to get them in smaller sizes. I think the smallest Rosemary & Co. I've got is 3.0, but with the Raphael brushes, I think I've got about 5.0, maybe even 6.0. The minute brushes you can get in Raphael. But you can't seem to get that small a brush in the Rosemary & Co. But yeah, all good brushes, and that's really the basis of everything. Is good paint and good brushes. If you've got good paint and good brushes, then that's a very good start. If you've got good paint and good brushes, that's a very good start. It's a very good start. A good wet palette, and you'll do very well. You'll do very well. I've tried using these synthetic brushes, and within no time at all, the tip of the brush will go like that. They're just no good at all. They're no good at all. I've got loads of them here. All right, they have the uses if you're going to paint something like with a texture you know is going to absolutely knacker a brush. Then yeah, use a synthetic one. And if you knacker it, it doesn't matter, does it? Save your sable brushes for these things. Synthetic. Synthetic. That's a mouthful to say today, isn't it? Synthetic. Oh Lord. Synthetic. Yeah. Maybe that's something I might do for next month's giveaway. I'll get some brushes, perhaps get some really nice brushes. We can do that. Yeah, perhaps we'll do that. See how you go. Just leaving show. Pirate Rich Paints. Nice to see you, Richie. Nice job last night. Enjoyed it very much, mate. Nice job on the, I forget what sort of figures you were painting now. But you did a nice job. So the seam will be at the back here, isn't it? Okay, just looking where the seam is on this figure. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome. See you next Friday, if not before. I thought you were going to a bloody wargaming show. Or have you been? Thought you were going to a wargaming show. Or are you at the wargaming show watching me? I'm just leaving now. Have a nice time. Have a nice time. See if you can get those 5 items on that list. I bet you can't. I would be very surprised if you found that Aurora figure. Very surprised. Do you hate that, getting hair brush or little fibers or something on the end of your brush? That drives me. See you later, matey. Nice to know you. Drives me mad, that does, getting little fibers on the end of my brush. Right. It's not looking too bad now, this guy. Of course, a lot of what's on him we won't see because he's got a backpack on. So a lot of his smock you won't see because he's got a backpack on him. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. How long have we been going at this? Hour and 27 minutes. I was going to get some lunch or something in a bit. I don't know what we're going to have today, I'm sure. I have no idea what we're going to have today. Haute cuisine. Yeah, haute cuisine. That's the trouble with being at the south of the country, the tip end of the country. We never get any wargaming shows or anything down this far. They're always up the line. Like Salute and all that. It would cost me so much to get up there, up to London, the train and stuff. Then you'd probably have to stay overnight somewhere. So it would just cost so much before you even bought anything at the show itself. So you think, well, I might as well just spend that money on miniatures or something. You know, it's okay if you live in London or round and about. It's not bad. But you know, it's still a nice place to live here for sure. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to live in an inner city. Something like that. That wouldn't make me very happy. I mean, you know, some people like city life, but it's just, I tried it and it just wasn't me. Right, I think this figure is more or less pretty chipper now for the green patches. I don't know how much of that you can see, I don't know. I never rewatch these videos, you know, when I pin them up, I just pin them up and leave them. I never look at them again, see how well things come out and all that. I just pin them up and that's it. Well, that's another one done anyway. This one is the same figure, but what I did was clean that brush out properly in a minute. What I did was I changed the head on this guy. So this guy's got a flying helmet on, this guy here. This guy's just got no hat or helmet at all. Just to give him a bit of variety, because I'm using two boxes the same. So I've tried to vary the figures a bit. As much as I can. Right, how many have we got after this? Oh, I just got that one. That one's not got a head because I got the head here ready to go, left over from a previous batch. So I don't have to do the head. So that's no problem. Right, what we got here? Where are we on? 130 hour and 32 minutes. So we'll give it another 10 minutes or something. Then we'll go and get a bit of lunch or something. Getting quite hungry now, actually. Yeah. Yeah, thoroughly enjoying painting these. Ouch. What did I do on my, where's the last one? What did I do on the last one? Okay. Okay. Yeah, nice figures. Is it me? Did I hear right? I heard this, somebody say they're going to bring back Fawlty Towers. Is that right? I don't know how you could. How could you replace John Cleese as Basil Fawlty? Don't know how you could do it. Actually, I don't know how you could replace any of the characters in Fawlty Towers. It's like, have any of you out there seen the up-to-date Dad's Army movie? Any of you seen that? Bloody awful. Bloody awful. Because you can't replace the characters. You can't replicate the characters of the original. And it was absolutely goddamn awful. So I don't know how you could do Fawlty Towers. I think, to be honest with you, some things like that are best left. Let's just remember them as they were. Yeah, detail on these sitting figures is not that great, I have to say. Well, not on the front of the tunic anyway. It makes my life as a painter. Yeah, that's right, Frank. You're absolutely right. Better to think totally brand new rather than muck about with what's gone, because you can't replicate the figures or the characters. Give me just a second. I'll show you something. That's what I watched. Absolutely bloody awful. I've never seen. I've watched a lot of movies in my time. Believe you me, that's got to be the worst movie I've ever seen. Absolutely dreadful. And they weren't even trying to sort of be like the original characters. Because the original characters in Dad's Army, they all had their little quirks. And they weren't even trying to be like that. Like Sergeant, if you watch Sergeant Wilson, he always does this sort of thing where he rubs his forehead. It's like doing that. You know, Mannering says to Wilson, "Will you fall the men in?" And he's like, would you mind awfully falling in 3 nice, neat rows? Thank you so much." He's just like that. They weren't even trying to do stuff like that. It was just horrible, horrible. So it does make me wonder if they're trying to bring back Fawlty Towers, how they're going to achieve that. I don't know. Can't say that it'll work myself, but you know, you might get a surprise, I suppose. Right, I've done it like that. Okey-dokey. Yeah, I think, you know, looking at these figures, Arnhem was a bit of a failure, really. But it could have worked completely, I'm sure. It could have worked completely. But, you know, there's a conflict of interest between Patton and Montgomery, which didn't help things. Didn't help things at all, unfortunately. And a lot of supplies, I understand, got diverted from Montgomery to Patton, which didn't help our cause. So it's a great shame. I think it could have been a total success. What is it they call it? The Fortunes of War. Yeah. there's a bit down there. Yeah, you gotta imagine a bit on these figures, these sitting figures, where some of the detail is. I think they look alright when all's said and done, but yes, Frank, I look out for your dragon figure videos. Some of the last batch of figures I did for these British Airborne, they were dragon figures, and they were quite good figures. We're very lucky. We're very lucky as wargamers to live in such yeah, they could have done it. They could have, despite the roads and all that. I totally agree with you, the roads were crap. And not good, but I think they still could have done it. They still could have done it. I still think they could have succeeded. Unfortunate there was an SS Panzer group there, which got in the way somewhat. But I still think they could have done it. Yeah. Oh, sugar. We'll do it that way. Yes, I do like the airborne troops very much. My father actually applied to be in the airborne division when he was in the army, but unfortunately he wouldn't jump out of the airplane, which always a bit of a handicap, right, isn't it, for a paratrooper not being able to jump out of the airplane. No, he did all the training and everything, went through the whole rigmarole, and when he got up in the bloody airplane he couldn't jump out for some reason. Don't ask me what it was. He couldn't do it. Yeah. Sorry, Dad, but you didn't make a paratrooper. Yeah. These are a bit awkward. What I'm going to have to do, take this guy off the stand here a minute and paint him. See, there's a lot. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. I know they can see that in the light. And there's a lot under the bottom of that figure that I've not bothered to paint, because we're not going to see it anyway, because he's going to be sat down. So don't waste your time and effort painting the bottom of the figure. Where's the hole? I can't find the hole to put that figure back on the base now. Oh, wretched figure. Come on. Don't give me a hard time. Look, it's Saturday and I want my dinner, okay? Oh, what do you do, folks? There you go. Right, there you go. Yeah, don't give me a hard time, please. It's Saturday, I got other things I want to do. Right, I think what I'm going to do is bid you all a fond farewell. I hope you all have a nice weekend. Enjoy what you're doing. Stay out of the heat wave, for sure, for sure. I assume it's heading this way. We're all going to get it here in the UK. It's been thoroughly enjoyable as always. My brush is clagged up terribly with this military green. I'll have to clean that out in a minute. I'm going to go and have some lunch. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for all your comments. Hopefully I'll find something for the giveaway this month or next month. Maybe some brushes or something. I don't know. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy what you're doing. Be careful. Stay safe. Fingers crossed. See you on the next one. Have a nice weekend. You're welcome, Frank. You're welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Yeah, I'll carry on with these after I've had a spot of lunch, I think. And we'll see you on the next one.